version.
Let's listen in. Vice President speaking.
Honorable President's address, and the rest may be considered as read. Honorable members, I extend my heartiest congratulations and best wishes to all the newly elected members of the 18th Lok Sabha. I wish Sri Om Birla ji the very best for performing his exalted role as the Speaker of the Lok Sabha. Honorable members, I also express my gratitude to the Election Commission of India on behalf of crores of Indians today. This was the largest election in the world. The Kashmir Valley has broken all records of voter turnout in decades. Honorable members, the world is witnessing that the people of India have elected a stable government with clear majority consecutively for third term. Honorable members, this Lok Sabha will also witness to the 75th year of adoption of the Constitution of India. Honorable members, the resolve to perform, reform and transform has made India the fastest growing economy in the world today. In 10 years, India has risen to become the 5th largest economy from being an 11th ranked economy. Honorable members, in the last 10 years, my government has given great emphasis on every aspect of rural economy. To enable farmers to meet their small expenses, more than rupees 3,20,000 crore have been disbursed to them under PM Kisan Samman Nidhi. Honorable members, the future belongs to Harit Yug or Green Era. My government has increased the allocation for the development of Northeastern region by more than 4 times in the last 10 years. The government is working to make this region a strategic gateway under its Act East policy. Honorable members, my government, which is committed to women-led development, has started a new era of women empowerment. Today, they stand empowered by the enactment of Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam. Honorable members, Baba Sahib Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar said, I quote, "Progress of any society depends on the progress of the poorest sections of the society," unquote. Empowerment of the poor has been at the foundation of the achievements and progress of the nation in the last 10 years. Honorable members, often due to adversarial mindset and narrow selfishness, the basic spirit of democracy has been greatly undermined. It affects the parliamentary system as well as development journey of the nation. The people of India have now changed this situation by their decisive mandate. Honorable members, modernization of our armed forces is essential for a strong India. In the last decade, our defense exports have increased more than 18 times to the level of rupees 21,000 crore. Honorable members, for further increasing the participation of youth in the nation building, my government has launched Mera Yuva Bharat campaign. So far, more than 1.5 crore youth have registered for it. Today, our youth is getting new opportunities to move forward in sports as well. Due to effective efforts of my government, young Indian players are winning a record number of medals at global platforms. Honorable members, the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita will come into force in the country from 1st of July. During the British regime, there was a mindset to punish the subjects. Now justice will get priority over punishment, which also conforms to the spirit of our Constitution. These new laws will speed up the judicial process. My government has started granting citizenship to refugees under the CAA. Honorable members, the global order is taking a new shape in the third decade of 21st century. The way the world now reviews India was evident during the G7 summit held in Italy. India has brought the world together on various issues during her G20 presidency. Honorable members, in the ensuing few months, India is going to complete 75 years as a republic. The Constitution of India has stood up to every challenge and every test in the past decades. Even when the Constitution was in the making, there were forces in the world who wished India to fail. Even after the Constitution came into force, it was attacked many times. Today is 27th June. Imposition of emergency on 25th June 1975 was the biggest and darkest chapter of direct attack on the Constitution. The entire country felt outraged, but the country emerged victorious over such unconstitutional forces as the traditions of the Republic lie at the core of India. My government also does not consider the Constitution of India as just a medium of governance. Rather, we are making efforts to ensure that our Constitution becomes a part of public consciousness. Now, the Constitution has also come into force fully in that part of India, our Jammu and Kashmir, where conditions were different due to Article 370. Honorable members, we all need to always remember that making India a developed nation is the aspiration and resolve of every citizen of the country. It is the responsibility of all of us to ensure that no obstacles come in the way of achieving this resolution. Opposition of policies and obstruction of parliamentary functioning are two different things. When Parliament conducts business smoothly, when healthy deliberations take place here, when far-reaching decisions are taken, then the people repose confidence not only in the government, but also in the entire system. Therefore, I am confident that every moment of Parliament will be fully utilized. Public interest will be given priority. Honorable members, this century is India's century, and its impact will last for 1,000 years to come. Let us all together, with full devotion to our duties, get actively involved in fulfilling national resolutions and make India a developed nation. Best wishes to all of you. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.